My 36 male wife, 34 female fell deep into conspiracy theories and online hate groups. Is there any saving our marriage? This title already sounds like a lot. Let's get into it. I, 36 male, have been married to my wife, 34 female, for 6 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter, and I really don't want to divorce, but I'm starting to feel like I've run out of options. When we first met, my wife was a kind, brilliant, and outgoing person. Over the past few years, she's changed in ways that really scare me. She's become very involved in online conspiracy spaces and online hate groups and now spends hours every day scrolling and arguing online. It's like she's living in a different reality. People often fall down in internet rabbit holes. It happens to everyone. We're surrounded by technology, but it becomes very unhealthy when it takes over your life. It takes away time from your family and your children. Sudden changes like this, though, also can point to unresolved health issues. She hasn't had a stable job in about 3 years. She'll take on part-time work but ends up quitting or getting fired after a few months. Meanwhile, I've become the sole provider and have also taken on most of the parenting. Our daughter loves her mom, but my wife often seems distracted or disengaged, and it breaks my heart to see that. I feel so sad for you and your daughter. I hope you know that's none of your fault, and I'm not blaming you thinking about divorce. Another issue is she has become more racist over time. It started as an obsessive dislike of a certain celebrity, but it's turned into outright racist comments, particularly toward women of color. She's lost several friendships because of it, and even her family has started to distance themselves.
Well, yeah.
They still check in on me and our daughter, but they made it clear they don't know how to reach her anymore. This feels deeper than just opinions. I've heard about stories where people became completely different person, and it turned out it was something serious behind it. I'm not saying that's the case here, but if I would be in this position, I would want to investigate it more. I've begged her to try therapy. She actually did for a few months once, and for a while I saw glimpses of the person she used to be. But she quit, and everything went back to the way it was. I'm emotionally exhausted and worried about the environment our daughter is growing up in. I don't want her picking up these beliefs or thinking this level of disconnection is normal. You have an innocent child involved, and obviously you should put her first. That said, I'm also terrified of what divorce might do to her. I always believed in trying everything before walking away, and I don't want to feel like I gave up too soon. Yeah, that is fair. It's so clear how much you still love your wife. But does she even comprehend how serious the situation is? Does she understand that you're on the verge of leaving? I hate to say it, but if she doesn't see it now, I don't know when she ever will. That's why I'm thinking about asking my wife to go to couples therapy. Maybe she'd be more open to it since it won't be just her. My question is how to even bring this up. I don't want it to sound like a threat, but I just want her to understand how serious things have gotten. I love her and want to believe there's still a way forward, but I can't keep doing this by myself. I think couples therapy is definitely a reasonable next step here. It would be easier to her to show up if she doesn't have to do it alone. I don't think saying this to her is a threat, not at all. It's reality, and she has to wake up right now before it's too late.
Wake your ass up!
She is so lucky because you still want to fix this. If anyone has been in a similar situation with a partner who's fallen deep into conspiracies or become resistant to therapy, how did you approach it? I really want to try everything I can before making such a painful decision. I think you have to be really honest with her. She must understand how serious the situation became. But eventually, if nothing helps, you have to be willing to walk away. Because one thing is for sure, for your daughter, growing up in this environment is unsustainable. There are some relevant comments, so let's see what Reddit thinks. Threatening divorce to force her into couples counseling is not the appropriate route. For couples counseling to work, both people need to be open and willing to do the work. Approach couples counseling as a team effort. It's something that could help you both better communicate and work together. Couples counseling doesn't solve relationship issues, but it can give you the tools to tackle the issues together. The rabbit hole of conspiracies is difficult to pull someone out of. It's almost like an addiction, and you can't force someone out of addiction if they don't want to give it up. Consider counseling for yourself as well. It may help you navigate this situation. Yeah, I agree with this commenter. I don't think OP meant it like go to couples counseling or I divorce you ultimatum. It feels more like he's desperate and trying to do everything to fix the situation before it gets worse. You can tell he still wants to save the relationship, he just doesn't know how to communicate or what to do anymore. OP's answer: I feel like I don't even know how to talk to her anymore. She rants at me about things, but I haven't had a good conversation with her for the longest time. Appreciate what you said about getting counseling for myself. I've honestly been so overwhelmed. Next commenter: you faced what I did with my brother. Unfortunately, the main problem with all things conspiratorial is the cult members are programmed to reject absolutely everything that refutes their positions. Counseling will only work if she realizes she has an issue, and you can't really use it as a lever because there is just no way she will respond to the stick without automatically concluding that you're part of that is out to get her and her cult members. This is a fair point, and honestly, that's what makes it so scary. It's not just a disagreement anymore, it's a complete different framework for reality. And it definitely sounds like addiction. The person won't want to give it up until they decide it's time. OP's answer: I was afraid to hear this. She isn't exactly QAnon. She used to be liberal, but she is now strongly anti-vax, thinking of homeschooling our daughter because the education system is grooming kids or whatever. Anti-government, anti-Meghan Merkel.
What are you talking about?
It's a long list. Sorry about your brother. Next commenter: your daughter will do far better being raised in a co-parenting arrangement than being raised in a loveless home. Staying together for her is not the right choice. You need to want to stay together because that's what is best for you and your wife, but it seems like your wife isn't good for you anymore. It definitely makes the situation harder that you guys have a little kid. I think in your case, it would be a good idea to separate. Distance can be a thing that helps you guys see things more clearly. OP's answer: one of the things that really scares me about the idea of divorce is what would happen with the custody arrangement. I may not have any control over what our daughter is exposed to during her time with her mom. I'm also scared about her general attentiveness. My wife can get so wrapped up in her phone or online discussions that she tunes everything else out. If our daughter needed her or got hurt, I'm not confident she'd notice right away. I think those are all valid fears to have. At this point, it doesn't look like your wife is fit to be with your daughter and look over her by herself. You need a really good lawyer, and you need to explain to them that you don't feel confident leaving your daughter with your wife alone. You guys maybe can go for supervised visitations only. Next commenter: if possible, I tried filming the moments you mentioned where your daughter is specifically trying to interact. But she's clearly not interested as she's on her phone, etc., and play them back to her. That is a very smart idea. Maybe the wife has no idea how she looks from the outside, and seeing herself could be a very good wake-up call. OP's answer: thank you for the filming suggestion. OP is adding some extra info. She used to be a very outgoing person. She had a large supportive circle of family and friends, was very involved in our community, and then COVID hit and she started spending so much time online and just never went back to being her old self, no matter how hard I tried or her family or friend tried to reach her. Next commenter: talk to a lawyer. Usually they offer a free consult. This will give you the information you need to make a decision. I worried and worried for nothing, but do protect your daughter. Go for full custody and let her testify on her behalf. Opie's answer: we'll definitely start looking into a lawyer and getting full custody. I cannot imagine being in a situation like this. It's so hard and so heartbreaking. Opie wrote an update, so let's see if he came up with a solution. I tried to keep this update short. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who took the time to comment and message me. Some of you helped me accept a reality I had been avoiding for a long time. My soon-to-be ex-wife was not going to get better, and I had to act to protect my daughter. I also want to specifically thank those who pointed me to QAnon Casualties sub. Reading other family stories and seeing how similar the patterns were was incredibly validating. It helped me understand that this wasn't something I could love or wait my way out of it. It definitely helps when you find people who have similar stories than you. Relating to other people makes us feel less alone and can definitely help us find the best solution available. I took the advice of some commenters and started documenting my ex's neglect of our daughter,
So smart.
her racism and extreme beliefs, and reached out to a divorce lawyer. I checked on our joint bank accounts as advised and discovered that she had been withdrawing large sums of money from our joint account we opened early in our marriage for family vacations, etc., and that we had discussed using to eventually set up a college fund for our daughter when she was born. When I confronted her, she initially denied taking the money. Ma'am, who else would take it then? When I demanded she show me where the money went, she went on a long rant about creating a better world. She admitted she had donated money to organizations like TPUSA, claiming they would create better schools and keep kids safe. She had also spent a significant amount of designer handbags, shoes, and clothing that she had hidden from me. Yeah, sure. So she created a better life for her wardrobe. Love that. The craziest thing is she was also being scammed by someone she met through some royal gossip subreddit, who claimed to have hired a private investigator to expose Meghan Markle.
That is such bull.
Apparently, this person would send her negative articles about Meghan Markle and claim that the private investigator had discovered this information and sent it to the press, and my wife would send more money.
What?
She told me all of this as if it were completely reasonable and saw nothing wrong with it. Oh my god, this alone is enough for a divorce. She is stealing from her family and more concerned about the stranger than the people around her. Usually, I like to play devil's advocate. This time, I have nothing. I told her I was filing for divorce, and at first she thought I was joking, but then exploded at me and began throwing things while ranting about me breaking up the family. A glass cup she threw hit me in the head. I left the house bleeding and went to my neighbors, who called the police. She had trashed the kitchen by the time the police showed up, and they arrested her after I explained what happened. That escalated really quickly. I'm glad you and your daughter are out of there, because she could have been next. I applied for and granted a domestic violence restraining order along with temporary custody of my daughter. She is facing a misdemeanor criminal charge related to the domestic battery incident, which is being handled in criminal court alongside the ongoing divorce proceedings. She is currently living with a former co-worker, and her family has reached out to express support for me and my daughter. I'm glad there is a restraining order in place, especially for the child's safety. I am in the middle of divorce proceedings, and my lawyer believes I have a strong case for sole custody. After all what your wife did, I would be surprised if you wouldn't. This isn't how I ever imagined things ending, but I'm grateful I listened to the advice here when I did. Thank you to everyone who helped me to act. Yeah, I really wish you and your daughter the best. I hope with time your ex-wife also gets the help she needs, so she can have some type of relationship with her daughter in the future. My 25 male wife, 23 female is replacing my shirts for a different size. During the pandemic, I started gaining weight. I have always had body issues, but it got to a new high when I was trying on a shirt that was even a bit too big 6 months ago. Now it won't button up. I started exercising and cutting back on food. My wife became concerned for my mental health. She encouraged me to eat clean but not restrict and started even dieting with me. That sounds like a pretty normal start. You notice changed and you try to do something about it. The fact that your wife supported you is kind of nice. 2 weeks ago, we were invited to our friend's anniversary, and seeing that my wife fit in a dress she hadn't got in 1 year made me spiral. We ended up going for like an hour and then leaving. I can see you got triggered because your own insecurities. It's just sad it got in your head so much it ruined your whole night. Since then, I began noticing how some of my button-ups started fitting better and better, and I was gaining more confidence. I love that for you. Yesterday, my wife left for the weekend to check in on her aunt. I was looking for some papers that she usually keeps in her boy under the bed when I noticed a shopping bag under the bed. It was all my shirts that I thought started fitting. She had bought new ones, cut off all the antique taste, and exchanged the older for the new ones. I don't even know how to feel. What was her goal? Why did she do that? How do I start a conversation with her? I mean, she was probably sad for you that you're hurting because you're insecure about your looks. And she just wanted to make you feel better. I'm not gonna lie, first I thought she exchanged your shirt for smaller ones so you would have thought you gained weight. Because I heard about a story like that before. But actually what she did was kinda sweet. I would tell her that I found the bags and have an honest conversation with her. Edit, I never threw a fit. I was feeling bad and my wife was supportive and said we just had to say hi and leave. She was never mad. Also, I'm not mad because of the shirts. Was highly confused. It's clear your wife loves you regardless how you look. She just wants you to be happy and healthy. She also joined to live a healthier lifestyle with you. I think your wife is awesome. Update. Hey, so I'm back. I'm writing this with my wife. Hi OP's wife, we love you on this channel. So for one, we talked. Everything is fine. She was trying to make me feel better, but said she would have told me. We have decided that I should go back to therapy so we can work on my body issues because it turns out this is worse than we thought. Apparently, I have body dysmorphia and a binge eating disorder. All in all, it's hard, but I'm doing better. She had been so supportive and I love her.
Oh, this is so sweet.
I'm really glad this didn't go in a worse direction. Therapy really sounds like an amazing option here. And the fact that now you know you have body dysmorphia and binge eating disorder will help you to understand yourself more. Since you have such a supportive partner, I'm sure you guys gonna figure this out. However, we want to say something to commenters calling me on a for making my wife leave a party early because of a temper tantrum. I was having a panic attack and I was feeling really bad. She wanted us to leave. I felt really bad about it. Okay guys, in the comment section, you should calm the down. Everybody have off days. It's not gonna make them an I don't think OP's wife wanted to stay anyway when she could tell OP has such a bad time. But when you are in a committed relationship, it is normal to make sacrifices to help each other. This wasn't even a sacrifice. How could I have fun when I look at my partner and they have such a bad time? I would want to leave and make him feel better in the situation too. I know that it was my fault, but I didn't do it to manipulate her. I don't know what those comments are about. So that's all for now. I am wearing shirts that fit me. It has helped me. We started running in the park together and feel physically better. Don't worry about those comments. Sometimes people on Reddit just harsh and jump on conclusions. It looks like you guys made better and healthier choices for your life. In my book, that's all that matters. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stories. If you did, please subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments. I reply them all and see you in the next one.